Well, I asked you to ask me anything about audiobooks, ACX, Audible, narration, the tech, anything. And guess what? It's time for answers. As I'm recording this, I am going to be giving you the answers to the best questions asked this past week, and we'll do that in this episode of the VO Heroes podcast. Okay, so I'm releasing this episode a little tiny bit early this week. I'm hopefully going to get it out on Sunday night or early Monday morning. But we had such great questions. This past week, we did a series of 3 free videos training people on the basics of audiobook narration, how ACX works, how our past classes have addressed the changes over time that Audible has made in ACX and how it operates. And I wanted to get out of the way real quick the whole notion of the registration week, because we're in registration right now. Actually, registration opened yesterday, Sunday, at 9 in the morning, and we got a whole bunch of people flooding in to take the class, which we're really excited about. We're offering an early action bonus price of $16.95, which means we're paying the first $300 of your full tuition. Now, that only lasts until tomorrow night, at 9 o'clock, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock on the 31st of January. Just making sure all the dates and times are right. And then the price goes up to $19.95. Now, that price is going to remain the same through the end of registration. Registration closes on Friday, February 3rd at 9 p.m. Pacific time, sharp. Like, Dan closes the door. It slams shut. We're done because we spend the weekend matriculating everybody into the class, which starts on Monday. 2/6. February 6th starts next Monday. And then the classes are each Monday live in the evening, February 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th. And then we follow that each week on Thursday with Q&A sessions on the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and March 2nd. And not to worry, all of the classes, all of the Q&As, all of them are recorded, both on video and on audio. They're released to the people attending the class so that you can, if you've got something already going on, if your February was already packed, it's okay, because all the information is going to be available to you. So, got that out of the way. If you want to do it, now's the time to do it. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until the price goes up either, because that's like $300 you're just basically throwing away. So join us, acxmasterclass.com/join. That link is going to be down below on all the slides. But what I want to get into now is Ask Me Anything. Here are the answers. So here's our first question. I just watched the first video. This was a question given to us on Monday or Tuesday of last week. Wonderful. I've been honestly too scared of the editing process and the technical end, and now I'm excited to learn how to do it. Thank you again. I'm so excited to take the class. This is from Michelle, and I know that Michelle's already joined, which I'm really excited about. It is always sort of a speed bump to people even considering audiobook narration, because they look at it from the outside in. They don't have all the facts. They don't have the details. They have no process. They just kind of imagine what it must be like. It must be awful. Because audiobooks are so long. They're such big projects compared to 10-second promos or 30-second commercials, and I get that. But the best part about the ACX Master Class, the secret sauce, is the process that I teach you called the stair-step method, which makes the tech, makes the editing so easy without any impact on the quality of what you're doing. So we're very excited about that, and you're going to find that out, Michelle. It's going to be just great. All right, just wanted to say thank you for the encouragement and service that you provide. What about character voices and a person's insecurity about being consistent over time? Any advice? Michael asked this question. So this comes up a lot. How do you stay consistent from chapter to chapter? How do you know that your energy is going to be the same? We show you some things to do in terms of listening to the prior content, just a little tiny bit, to get into the energy that you had if you need it. But as I said in the answer that I gave when Michael first asked this question, this is one of those things that you can safely move from the category of things to worry about over to the category of things not to worry about, because it doesn't happen. we as performers are always matching our energy. Think about when we're on set or when we're doing pickups to any other category of work like commercials or narration or animation. We're always constantly matching our energy and matching our pace. And the other thing that people don't know is that audiobooks are kind of like roller coasters. Their energy doesn't remain perfectly constant. There's ups and there's downs and there's hardcore sections and easygoing sections and sexy sections and mysterious sections, and it always changes. I wouldn't worry about it. That's my real advice to you. We have a question from somebody who would choose to remain anonymous. Hello, David. How much time in general can one expect to earn their first paycheck upon completing the course? Thank you. Well, listen, if you ask this question of anybody and they give you a definitive answer, that's your cue to turn around and walk away from them. Because the answer should be, I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know how persistent you're going to be in terms of pursuing work. I don't know how much you're going to engage with our content or our process. Frankly, I don't know how good you might be. I don't know. And with so many unknowns and so many variables in the process, who could possibly say what is essentially a question about return on investment might be? I think it's one of those mistakes that performers make in general. They are like, how quickly can I make my money back? I don't think you can make that calculation and do it accurately or on an informed basis because our business is so crazy. Our business is so weird. We certainly have a lot of people who get booked on books. During class, we have people getting booked on books and starting to make money. But I can't guarantee that, and I wouldn't know, even on average, what that might be. I hope that makes sense. How expensive is this class and how much time and work is it? I work full time for a nonprofit. We have lots and lots of students who work full time either in survival jobs or in jobs outside the industry or in other areas of performance, like on camera or other areas of voiceover. And it is entirely up to you. The amount of work that's needed is the amount of work to cover the content in the course, and it's about 3 to 5 hours a week. And then the amount of time that you want to spend doing this work, well, that's entirely up to you. There are people who turn to doing it full time, and then there are people who do it part time. There are people who only do it late at night after the kids have gone to sleep, that you do it on the weekends. It's entirely up to you. But what you want to have is a process that you can rely on no matter how much time you spend practicing or actually doing the work. So, and I think Mary joined as well. I'm not quite sure. Hello. When will enrollment open, and do you have the schedule confirmed, dates and times that you can share for planning purposes? Thank you. Elizabeth read my mind. So we gave you that at the beginning. I'm going to review it again at the end. Again, class starts this coming Monday, the 6th of February. We're going to give you all those dates and times one more time at the end. I'm new to audiobooks, and I have two questions. One, is there a way to market myself as being a family-friendly audiobook reader without meaning that I'll only read children's books, self-help guides, and technical manuals? Absolutely. You do that with how you create your profile on not only ACX, but we talk about all the other platforms that you can be on. How you describe things and the samples that you include really help to define your brand. And we actually go pretty deep in the course on how to do that effectively. Second question that Anthony has is there a way to review a project completely before signing to do it? I imagine the answer is a very simple yes, read the book. Well, close. It isn't all that simple, and we actually spend a lot of time talking about how to judge the potential of projects on ACX. Look, ACX has been around now for over a decade. And because there's no barrier to entry, there's no fee to be on it, there's no, any sort of certification needed to be on it. You don't have to be in the union. You can be union or non-union. Anybody can be on there. And that means everybody ends up going there. And some of those people, they're scammers. And there's all kinds of scammy projects on ACX. We show you how to judge those projects, not just to see if they might be scams, but also to see if they're worth your time. And if they would provide you not only money, but also exposure or a demo to use for your profile. So there's lots of different ways to judge it, but it's not about reading the book. That would take way too long, Anthony. That's crazy stuff. Michael says one of the main reasons for staying away from audiobooks is that it seems like it would take a long time to record or a lot of time to record and produce. So what is a normal time frame for producing an audiobook, and what is the average work time per day for that normal time frame? Also, are clients looking for quicker turnarounds, and how long is too long to turn in a finished project or product? So this is all around your efficiency, your pace. How many work hours does it take to do a finished hour? So if a book is 10 hours long, when it's all said and done, all edited and mastered and produced and everything, how many hours of work did you actually put in that? And Audible actually surveys its narrators every single year and says, how long does it take you to do your average book? And you'd be surprised. The response is between 6 and 10 hours of work for every finished hour of the book. That's on average based on their survey. Now, our students, the process that I teach, the stair-step method, is designed to cut that way down. My rate won't necessarily be your rate, but I can tell you that almost all of our students experience a rate between 2 and 4 hours of work per finished hour, most of them in the 2 to 3 hour range. And it's mostly because we give you all these fail-safes in the process so that you don't have to go back and listen to everything that you did, which is one of the big time wasters. Whether or not people are looking for quicker turnarounds depends entirely on the project. And you can spend whatever time you want. If you want to do an hour a day, that's fine. Because usually you get 60 days to do a book. And so if you have 60 hours to do, even if you're doing 6 work hours for one finished hour, that's a 10-hour book. And usually it's a lot less than that. It's again one of those things that it's good to think about, but you don't really have to worry about it because you can always ask for an extension as well. So the business is built to help you. It's built to help facilitate these projects. So just know that that's the case. But great questions. All right, I have a concern. This is Ken writing. There's been chatter online about Audible seeming to take advantage of narrators and authors over the issue of returns of audiobooks. You may have heard about this as Audiobook Gate or Audible Gate, with any royalties clawed back for each audiobook returned for whatever reason, whether listened to in part or even in whole with no time limit. How is Audible currently treating its narrators and authors in this respect? Well, I would also remind you that they have customers, and how they're treating their customers is the exact same way that Audible and Amazon, their parent company, treats customers all the time. You can return things, and I don't think it's an unlimited time period. I think there is a limit. I don't know exactly what it is. But here's the anecdotal evidence. First of all, it's a great way to treat your customers. I've returned audiobooks that I thought were going to be great, and I, got a chapter in, and I'm like, this is awful. But I get your concern. I get that, if somebody is working on a royalty share basis, what happens if people go and grab a book and constantly are returning books and grabbing new books? Well, first of all, Audible tracks those people. You can get away with that for only so long. And it's not a very common practice, to be honest. And I can only speak for myself and for my clients and my students, of which there's about 2,600. I have not heard anybody going, that's it, forget it, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore, because everybody just buys my book, quote unquote, buys my book, and then returns it, and I have to give the money back. I haven't seen people suffering, both either rights holders, authors, publishers, etc., or narrators, the way everybody thought would be a problem when this issue first came up. And you really have to look at this sort of from a 30,000 foot level. Audible also deals with their customers. And they're giving their customers a reason to come to the site, buy a book, and if it's reasonable, return it. They're not letting people get away with serial returning. Everybody was concerned about that when this first came up, but that chatter has largely died down. And just from my own personal perspective, I'm earning more money now than I ever have on Audible, and it would have been severely impacted if this was actually a thing. So I'm going to say I really wouldn't worry about it. Good to be aware of it. Good to know that their policy exists, but know that they're losing money too if they have to refund people's money. It's not just the authors and narrators; it's Audible, right? They're giving their money back as well. All right, so those were the questions that we got that we included. I just want to go over this one more time. The registration details for the ACX Master Class. Again, registration is open right now at acxmasterclass.com/join. That's the URL you see at the bottom of your screen. The early action bonus price is only good through tomorrow night as this is being released. So if you're watching this on Monday the 30th or Tuesday the 31st, that's how much time you have, is about 48 hours until that price goes away. It goes from $16.95 up to $19.95. That's available through Friday, and then registration closes completely. You can't even get in. Now, if you do wait until it goes up to $19.95, we have a payment plan, but man, the $16.95 is such a bargain. It is so good. So again, registration ends Friday, 2/3, February 3rd at 9 p.m. Pacific time. And then class starts next Monday, a week from today, as this video is being released, February 6th, and then that's it. There you go. We'll do classes all through the weeks of February. Monday nights will be classes. Thursdays will be Q&As. And every single day, pretty much, I think there's one day where we don't send out new material, is all the content that's being released during the class. So it's not just the live teaching on Monday night and Thursday's Q&As, but there is loads and loads of text and images and diagrams and processes and videos that show you how to do everything, demos. It's just great. And I would love to be your teacher. I'd love to hold your hand and help you do what I've done with my audiobook career on ACX and really get a great foothold and see what you can accomplish. I'm David H. Lawrence, the 17th. I thank you so much for watching and for listening. If you'd like to hit the like button or register for these or get notified, you got all that available to you. And if you want to pass this on to another actor or voice talent who you think might benefit, please go up to the link and send it over to them. I thank you so much again for watching and for listening, and I will see you in the next episode of the VO Heroes podcast.